Well, it goes beyond just workers' salaries and the lies that are being told about them. I'm telling you, there is as Warren Buffett famously said, yes, there is class warfare in the United States, and my class is winning. Warren Buffett, the second richest man in the United States. It goes beyond that. And, I got an email a little bit ago from somebody who said, this is the coup d'etat that was attempted against Roosevelt. The General Smedley Butler outed, let's bring down the government. This whole economic disaster, this Henry Paulson, let's spend $1 trillion. Now it's up to 3.5, 4, depending on how you calculate it, maybe as much as $7 trillion, which is half the GDP of the United States, that is being given away to these bankers. Yeah, $700 billion for bankers, white-collar guys, multimillionaires, no problem. Some money, $25 billion for auto workers. Yeah, those guys, they just graduated from high school. They wear blue shirts, they're blue-collar workers. I don't know if we're, and geez, they're making $28 an hour. So, and then you get Mika Brzezinski. Oh, they're making $73 an hour. Holy cow! Mika, who's probably making, 30 times that, but believing the lies that are put out by the auto manufacturers who are trying to break their unions and who are trying to get you and me to pick up the costs, for their retired workers, and so that they can pocket the money because those retired workers actually paid that money in back in the day when they were working. But anyhow, there's a larger issue here. There's a much larger issue here. Let's step way, way back and look at this economy at, from 10,000 feet. Let's step back and look at it from 20,000 feet. Here's the bottom line. When a country manufactures things, it makes wealth. The fastest way to make wealth, to create wealth, not money, not income, wealth. There's a difference. The fastest way to create wealth is manufacturing. You take $5 worth of iron ore and you turn it into $500 worth of car door. You take $5 worth of raw cotton and you turn it into a $5,000 Armani suit. Or $5 worth of wool, I guess it probably would be, whatever the case may be. Manufacturing has the greatest ratio of input to output in terms of converting something from low value to high value, and thus in the process creating wealth. You take a bunch of iron ore, and what you end up with is an instrument that is capable of great precision work. A computer, a fancy computer. Oh, okay, look at all the things a computer does. It all started out as a bunch of minerals. A little bit of germanium, a little bit of silicon, a little bit of aluminum, a little bit of iron, a little bit of molybdenum, a little bit, and just dirt, right? Your computer started out as dirt, and through manufacturing, it got turned into something that's worth thousands of dollars. Manufacturing is the way you produce wealth. Now, you can produce a little bit of wealth by selling things or by providing services. You could argue that a doctor produces wealth when he heals somebody. I would submit to you that the income that doctor earns isn't the production of wealth. The actual production of wealth is that the healthy person can now work a little longer and produce wealth by manufacturing. Are you with me on this? The way to make wealth is by making things. It's manufacturing. We don't manufacture in the United States anymore. Ronald Reagan and Arthur Laffer, I couldn't believe it. Arthur Laffer was on Bloomberg over the weekend a couple of times. And I thought, what are they doing with this grade A idiot, treating him as if he actually has something intelligent to say? This is the guy who, for the last 30 years, has destroyed the American economy, and they're still treating Arthur Laffer as if he has the IQ of somebody who graduated from elementary school. I was astounded. So the process of no longer manufacturing things means that since we're no longer on the gold standard, our dollar is backed by the full faith and confidence of the United States. In other words, our dollar represents the wealth of our country. And our wealth is what we make and what we have. And what we have is the minerals, the gold and the trees and the iron ore and all that stuff. And like crazy, we're digging that stuff out of the ground and we're shipping it off to China and to India and to Europe, countries all over the world. We're the largest exporter of raw materials now, third world country. So our indigenous wealth is vanishing and our manufactured wealth is vanishing Try and buy a toy that was made in the United States. Try and buy clothes that were made in the United States. Try and buy a computer that was made in the United States. Try and buy a TV that was made in the United States. 30 years ago, all those things were made here in the United States. We created wealth in this country. So the outcome of this, the product of this, is that the full faith and credit of the United States, in other words, the wealth of our country, is disintegrating. Now, there is a real predictable consequence to this loss of real wealth in the United States. And that consequence is that the value of the dollar could well crash. The Financial Times today has what I think, frankly, in the 6 years I've been doing this radio show, is the scariest article I've ever read in the Financial Times. I'll share it with you right after this.